The sentiment in the crypto market could not be lower. I'm seeing more bears come out every single day, and we saw Bitcoin today drop below $100,000. What does this mean for the market? I'm going to go over everything happening in the market right now. And one of the only bright spots, something that I'm really looking forward to that is going on today. Also have some giveaway winners from yesterday's video. But what the heck is going on in the market? We're going to go over everything you need to know right now. And also, is it time to take a nibble at some majors during this dip? Because I mean, everything is absolutely crushed from a price action and sentiment perspective. Is it time to maybe throw a little bit of bids in on Bitcoin, Ethereum, or some other strong majors? We'll talk about that and more in this video. Without further ado, let's jump into it. And before we jump into it, guys, be sure to drop down below, hit the like button, and subscribe. Look, the market's hard for everyone right now, but we will make it past this little bearish period. And I think on the other side, we will have a great time in the market. So like and subscribe down below. And also a big shout out to our sponsors here on In the Game. We have some incredible sponsors. Today, I want to give a big shout out to Gravity. So Gravity is the premier perps dex on ZK Sync. I think ZK Sync is going to just continue to grow in popularity over the coming years. And if you want allocation into the upcoming airdrop for their top perps decks, Gravity is the place to be. They raised tons of money. I think this airdrop will be very fruitful because also I think this is underfarmed. Everyone's focusing on other perps decks or other airdrops in the market. And I think that definitely Gravity is one of those things that is not going to be as diluted as maybe some other airdrops in the market. So I would 100% check out Gravity down below in the description. Let's go ahead and jump into the markets and another day. And we just take another leg down, really. It's definitely not another dollar. Another day, another dollar taken out of our portfolio because every single thing in the market is just absolutely getting destroyed. We just scrolled through the entire watch list here, and there's maybe like 15 greens. Everything else is just red. And even 𝗬, which has been carrying the market, continues to have bullish catalysts. 𝗬 Synergies announced another $750,000 investment into the subnets. It just doesn't do anything in this market, right? So it's a really tough sledding out there right now for every market participant. And I would, we just look across the board. We see $300 million worth of crypto longs liquidated in the last 60 minutes. The thing is everyone's playing on leverage, and we're not learning over and over again that unless you are super responsible, you're going to get liquidated consistently whenever that open interest goes either long or short. People are playing way too much on 10, 20x leverage, leveraging their whole portfolio on cross-market leverage, and they continue to get liquidated. I think that this is one of the big problems of this cycle. While, yes, I do trade leverage sometimes. I'll make sure it's a low stop loss, low leverage, and it's money that if I was to lose that account, it's only a percentage of my portfolio. But too many people are playing with their entire portfolio in leverage. The market's way over leveraged consistently, and even after October 10th's liquidation event, people continue to play around a little too hard with leverage. And on top of that, Ethereum, we were hovering around new all-time highs, what it felt like not that long ago, in the mid to high $4,000 levels, and now ETH just fell below 3,400, which is erasing every bit of dollars in the green throughout 2025. So now ETH is red on the yearly. That is absolutely crazy to think about. And ETH is just falling like a knife. Bitcoin's under 100K as I record this. And this was what I feel like right now. Like, I think this is what the Great Depression felt like. Even myself, I am still bullish on the outlook going into 2026 on government reopening. We've talked about that in previous videos, but man, I think this is what the Great Depression feels like. I didn't feel this negative even after Terra Luna collapsed. I didn't feel this negative after FTX, Celsius, Three Arrows Capital. I was able to navigate and kind of make my way out of that. I didn't get caught up in FTX, but this is a market-wide phenomenon, and it's not phenomenal. I would say a market-wide catastrophe that's going on right now, and everyone's affected, right? So to me, this is definitely what the Great Depression feels like. You wake up every single day hoping to see some green, and your portfolio is just getting absolutely smacked around. But if you're panicking right now and thinking it's the end of this cycle, you must be new here. And I do agree with this sentiment just a little bit. I think things are way too bearish in a sentiment perspective. And I do think that the bull market doesn't end when everyone's calling the bull market's over. That is not how the psychology of markets work. And, it's not, the market doesn't care what people think. But standard wise, now that everyone's flipped and said that the bull market's over, it does kind of feel like, okay, if everyone thinks that, if you remember back to 2021, people did not think that the bull market was over. I'm on the top, what was it, November something. People did not call the top on that bull market. It is almost impossible due to how euphoric things are to call the Pico tops or the Pico bottoms of a given market. And the bull phase in Bitcoin and crypto ends when no one thinks it's ending. That's the thing. We never even hit that euphoric level. Only Bitcoin could have, but we never hit that level that made people think like, oh, we're going to continue to go up and up and up and up, and altcoins are flying, like this is euphoric. It's already done a 10x. We're going to do a 50x on it. Like, obviously we got none of that this cycle so far. And to be honest, like other than Aster and Trump and some meme coins earlier this year, no coins have really had that euphoric feel. It does not end when every person involved on crypto Twitter is crying, panicking, or exiting and calling, the shots, saying that, it's the bear market has begun. Extreme noise for whatever reason. Bad price action is supposed to shake weak hands. And it's not, bad price action is not supposed to have every crypto Twitter account calling for a bear market. Usually that doesn't have a good signal. I think usually that's a buy signal. And I love what 𝗧𝗥𝗔𝗗𝗘 tweet here because it's a weird spot because of all of this. Does it feel sentiment-wise like a freaking bear market? Yeah, it does. But when everyone's calling for it, it's a weird spot because the sentiment we're seeing would be a massive bottom signal. But I think the bad sentiment, I agree with this 1,000%. And we've talked about the market fatigue in previous videos. I think the sentiment is largely due to exhaustion and depression in participants. Reason being that altcoins have not had a run in over 12 months now. Like last November, altcoins were pretty good. AI coins, all that stuff was really popping off at that point in time. Meme coins were really hot. Like altcoins, other than select segments and random runners, I think that's the big problem with the sentiment right now. If we had had a massive move in altcoins and majors, aside from like 𝗬𝗏 and Hyperliquid and Aster, for example, not much has really been cooking. We saw new all-time highs on BNB, XRP, etc. But, most things did not catch a bid. And I think that is what's causing this second sentence here, where he thinks that the sentiment is largely exhaustion and depression in participants. And I've mentioned on this channel, I think market fatigue is the reason for this sentiment. People are fed up. I had a comment on yesterday's video. Someone said that altcoins are the biggest scam in modern humanity. I mean, that's where the sentiment is right now. So not even so much that people are bearish, they're just absolutely fed up with where the market is. And we see people like TJR here saying, I'm buying here under 100K Bitcoin, which I would say is a great position to buy. But if you look at his comments, everyone's like, oh yeah, you want to, on this last dip, they got the Patrick with the hook in a place I'm not going to say. Like, people are trolling people who are buying right now, right? Crypto Twitter, when you say you're DCAing and bullish mid to long term, you're the bad guy. And this to me does scream like a time to DCA on Bitcoin. Now, look, I buy Bitcoin every single day. I will continue to buy Bitcoin every single day until, the wheels fall off, or until that retires my bloodline. Like straight up, I will buy Bitcoin forever, every single day. I have it recurring, comes out of my bank account, doesn't matter, up or down. I've been buying every single day. for the last few years at this point in time. But at the end of the day, like at 100K Bitcoin, we were just at $126,000 a few weeks ago. I don't know. To me, this just does feel like a great buy position. If you have a little bit of size you want to put into Bitcoin or are willing to allocate into Bitcoin, and just looking across the board, like it's crazy where we are right now. Like, and I'm not a financial advisor. Like this market is absolutely crooked. It's manipulated. With the government shutdown, there's no progression on ETFs. But looking across the board, some of these prices, I mean, 𝗬𝗎 under 2, AVAX at 15. We just had a 20% retracement on the strongest altcoin in the market today, which is 𝗬𝗨. Hyperliquid at 36. Like our entry was 27. This thing almost got to 60 at one point. It's crazy to see where we are. So, I mean, I'm not going to call out this coin today. You can literally take a stab at any given altcoin in the market and probably get a phenomenal entry, but it is just a matter of timing. But if you're willing to see it through, like what Rand had tweeted yesterday, the people who get the richest in crypto just hold long term. They hold good projects, and that's what we're trying to do here. So whatever you're choosing in the market today, the one thing I would be doing, and I will be doing, I'm going to put a larger DCA today into Bitcoin. I just think at 100K, based off where we have been, and with Trump literally 2 days ago on 60 Minutes saying that he wants to prioritize crypto again. The last time he said he wanted to prioritize crypto, Bitcoin went from the $60,000 levels up to $126,000 within a year. Okay, so that to me screams it's a buy signal. Yet there's going to be plenty of people telling you it's a bear market. And a funny thing I've also thought is, I've been bullish for quite a while. I don't think there's been any reasons to be bearish this year. Yes, this dip has been absolutely terrible. Don't get me wrong. However, here's what I'll say. Maybe it's time for YouTubers to be bearish and then we go bullish. No, I'm kidding. But that's what the commenters will always say. Whatever we think here on YouTube, just go the opposite, right? And that's, most YouTubers throughout the year have been bullish because the signs line up to be bullish. I don't see a reason why things should be this bearish, but things have changed, right? We have a government shutdown at the peak of the 4-year cycle. That could derail a lot of things. So maybe if collectively all of us YouTubers go bearish, we go bullish, and then boom, that would be phenomenal. But I'm going to maintain my stance. I see brighter pastures in the future. And look, there's things to distract ourselves. For me, I'm diving deep into prediction markets. I think we're going to have a pretty big announcement soon on prediction markets here on the show, as well as those weekly shows. We will be doing one this week about prediction markets and different picks that I'm making across different mention markets, etc. But today, we actually have a little bit of distraction in the market amidst the chaos. So Football.fun, are you ready for some football? The Founders Pack sale is live. Now, look, if you played Football.fun in the European football side, this was probably the hottest app. And to me, this still is the #1 consumer application on base. Now, let's just look at some of the metrics. $72 million in trading volume, $4 million in fees, $3.67 million in market liquidity, 25 million deposited, 17 million withdrawn from this platform. And you can see here 17,000 unique depositors, an estimated revenue of $5.2 billion. And right now in gold balance on their platform, there's $1.6 million, but this is only for European football, not American football. And I think American football is going to spark a completely different interest group because this is basically now just fantasy football on chain, but your players hold value. So let's just say, to keep it simple, someone from Europe definitely knows who Patrick Mahomes is, let's just say. So Patrick Mahomes, probably the most popular NFL football player out there, unless you just know Travis Kelce because of Taylor Swift. But, Patrick Mahomes, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, if not the best quarterback in the league, you could assume his value is going to be very solid. So if you pull his card in a fantasy founders pack, you get him at the ground level. These packs are going for $20. Today is the whitelist sale. Tomorrow is first come, first serve. So just check out their Twitter. I would absolutely recommend getting involved in this because the peak of the soccer side went to $160 million, $155 million market cap. So the players on the platform were at one time collectively worth $150 million. And right now, American football is starting from ground zero. So this is your chance to get in early on that. And I think this is going to bring a whole different segment of investors, a whole different segment of interest, and of course, liquidity, which I think these will do very well, especially if you're able to get some founders packs. You can check if you're whitelisted. And some people will be whitelisted if you've been active on the platform previously. But first come, first serve will be tomorrow. And then there will be the pack reveal where the open markets will begin trading. So that is something I'm hooked on today. And also just diving into prediction markets. But like I said, we'll have a dedicated show this week on prediction markets. That is the trading I am doing. I'm not touching perps in this market, guys. Stay away from perps until we have a clear direction. Right now, the clear direction is shorting. But if you're opening a short today, I mean, let's just look at the Bitcoin percentages. If you're opening a short today, we're already down 18% on Bitcoin in the 30 days. If you think we're going to go down 30% on Bitcoin, you could look to open a short. But I think that that's pretty ambitious to think that we're going to drop that far pretty quickly. So I think you've missed short opportunities, but I would not be playing around with longs. Like perps are something I'm not touching at this moment in time. And last but not least, guys, like I said, there's really nothing. I'm not going to roll through altcoins today. I'm not going to roll through updates because the project updates out there honestly are slow because no project wants to put a bullish development out in this type of market. But we did do a giveaway on yesterday's show and I want to announce those winners. So we have the 5 winners of yesterday's zinc alpha, so the early access airdrop codes, the comments that won for this giveaway. If you know, and for the winners, comment me down below and I will get you that code underneath this video. I'll contact you or drop your Twitter or something like that so I can send you a direct message. And don't click any links. I will literally just send you a code. So if someone messages you acting like me and they are asking you to click a link or link a wallet or give your seed phrase, that is not me. So the winners, Starcave Network, Artie, Carl, I Pity the Joel, Common Man Survival, and Julian Just Julian. You guys leave comments down below with your Twitter handle and I will get with you with that code. So congrats to those winners. And look, just keep a level head. The crypto markets are meant to test your patience, meant to test your psychology. It might sound like a broken record, but at the end of the day, you need to hear it. I think this is market fatigue and exhaustion at its finest, a little bit of manipulation. Big players and whales are selling Bitcoin that they bought 10 years ago because why not take profits? Like, I get it, right? But once this wave is over, we are still seeing companies buying. We're seeing different digital asset treasuries. I'm bullish, and I'm going to maintain that stance. If we go into a full-fledged bear market from here, I'd be utterly shocked with the President of the United States literally saying his #1 priority is crypto. And he didn't say that last year. He said that 2 days ago. So I'll take that bet. Like the video down below, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video. As always, play well, my friends. Trade responsibly, please, and stay bullish, my friends.